Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salute to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity, hoping to receive mercy from Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh. Yahweh is the name of our Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos. We are the Israelites. That's according to the prophecies of the Holy Scriptures. This is the brother Shamar from the GMS Jamaica camp. I'm here to do a quick lunchtime lesson. Hopefully this lesson is edifying and it's going to be concerning E-sau E-dom. There's a few precepts inspired by a camp that we had last Saturday. I pray this lesson is edifying. All right. So I'll start with this first precept. This is Zechariah 9 verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I'll cut off the pride of the Philistines. Now, through the Spirit, let me see if I can bring up Ashdod. Now, Ashdod is a place, a city in Israel, but let's bring it up. Let's see what the blue letter has to say. Zechariah 9, verse 6. All right. Zechariah 9, verse 6. Maybe I need to put on my glasses. Verse 6. So let's see. So Ashdod, all right. Hebrew word meaning powerful, Strong's H7703. A major Philistine city on the Mediterranean Sea, west from Jerusalem, modern day Ashdod, all right? And let's see what bastard is while we're here. Mamza, all right? Hebrew word mamza, a child of incest, illegitimate child. So the illegitimate child that shall dwell in that city, this is a future prophecy. So the illegitimate child that shall dwell in that city, that Israelite city, is E-sau E-dom. And who fulfills that prophecy of the bastard dwelling in Ashdod? That's E-sau E-dom, who currently resides in that city, since 1948. The 1948ers, the small hats. That's who are in that city right now, So basically, we're going to be pointing out who E-sau E-dom is, through the Spirit and through the precepts. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 4. Again, concerning E-sau Edom, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live in faith. So this is referring to the soul of the Edomites. They're upright. They're designed to be the wicked. That's the book of Malachi. We'll get that as well. The Malachi, well, I just quoted, the book of Malachi refers to E-sau Edom as the border of wickedness. Right? So the soul that is lifted up within the wicked, who is E-sau Edom, is not upright. Why? Because they weren't designed to be upright. But the just shall live in faith. Who's the just? The just are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos. They are the just. Now, as it is written, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth him. So a lot of our Israelites, you see them not living in that just state, in their correct mind state, right? Because they have been influenced by the wicked that are in charge of this kingdom, who legitimize and legalize certain things that go against the scriptures, against the laws, statutes, and commandments, and then they perfect it. Certain Israelites perfect the wickedness, not knowing or foregoing the knowledge of who they are, really. Really they're designed to be the just. Back in verse 5, Habakkuk 2 verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Again, referring to E-sau Edom, man. He transgresseth by wine. No, this is not this is a dark saying. Transgresseth by wine. Wine is referring to philosophy, right? So the philosophies that he puts out there and normalize, like LGBTQ philosophy, feminism, ideology, a lot of these philosophies that are destroying the people and turning them away from the Heavenly Father, right? That's him deceiving and transgressing by wine, He's a proud man. The pride of his heart has deceiveth him, though that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. Those Caucasian mountain dwellers, the cavemen, yeah. That's who it's referring to. Neither keepeth at home. So the Edomites, they go all about, and conquer different nations, rename them after himself, and he doesn't reside or stick to where he's originally from or his allotted land, which is Mount Seir. That is where E-sau Edom rightfully supposed to be. You know, if you ever Google Mount Seir and you look at the architecture of Mount Seir, you see it's the modern day architecture that's all over the world. You know, even when you look at the renaming of the landmass, which is the land of Ham originally renamed to Africa, that's renamed after an Edomite named Leos Scipius Africanus. Even the work of the name America, who was inhabited by the Northern Kingdom Israelites, they renamed it after America Vespucci, right? If I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So that's an example of he keepeth not at home, who enlargeth his desires. Hell yeah, this Edomite, this cracker wants everything. One of his statements for his new world order is, "You will own nothing and be happy." Why? Because he wants to own everything. He enlarges his desires hell, and is as death. If he's allowed to manifest his devices, hey, not even himself would survive. Not even himself would survive. He pollutes even the water, the air that he drinks and breathes. Right? He cannot be satisfied. Gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. When you look at these metropolitan cities, you have people from everywhere in these cities, man. Him just import people from all over. Can't sustain the rebirth rate. So therefore, him always have to be bringing in people to pay his taxes and to support his wicked setup, his kingdom. That's the Edomite, man. That's the Edomite for you. This is Obadiah 1, verse 6. The whole book of Obadiah is good. It's only one book. I'll just get to the point I want to make in verse 6 to 9. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So that if it was left to Esau, Edom wouldn't know who he is. So how is he searched out, and how are his hidden things brought to light? Yeah. And it's true Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Different means Yahweh Bashim Yahushai have in place, allowing his tongue to fall upon himself, allowing, brothers to come across certain truth. That is how these things are come to light. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai bring these things to light. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau shall be cut off by slaughter. Right? And that's the judgment for E-sau Edom we're reading about right here. So it's the Lord that put these Edomites in power, for so prophecy can be fulfilled. Israelites didn't really follow the law, statutes, and commandments that they were contracted to follow under Moses. And, our enemies were brought up high against us, for a punishment. But E-sau Edom will go in his rightful place, will go into slavery, as it is written in the scriptures, for 1,000 years. And after that, he will be terminated, right, for want of a better word. As it is written, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, right there in the book of Obadiah as well. I'll move on for now to the book of Psalms 83 verse. I'll start at 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate me are lifted up the head. All right, so the Israelites have enemies. So let's read who these enemies are. I'll jump to the point, verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, right? So Edom is named as the primary enemy of the Israelites, man. Primary. They're the one that funded the slave ships, right? Through their banking system. They're the one that keep us enslaved to this very day, you know, through their taxes, through their work system, economy. You know, they only pay us so much so that we can keep coming to work. You know, most Israelites live hand to mouth, and we can't really this so-called glass ceiling above us. Can't really get to certain heights that certain Edomites can get to. You know, when they don't have to work, and you know they have that generational wealth. Most Israelites don't have access to that, man. All right. Gebal and Ammon and Amalek. Amalek is the chief host of Edom as well. So E-sau Edom is pretty much named twice there in the Israelites' main enemies. You know, so that's pretty much it. And as it is written, let me get one last precept actually. E-sau is the end of the world. That's why it's important to know who the Edomites are. And we shouldn't listen to the gutter rats when they're saying that they are the Israelites, man, because they don't fulfill prophecy. You know, the curses primarily tells us who the Israelites are, but I just wanted to focus on in this lesson who the Edomites are, right? As it is written, 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, right? Esau is the end of the world, so Esau will be in rulership in the end days. You know, everybody know that these are the end times, man. We've seen the mark of the beast, MOTB prophecy, quickly look like it's going into effect, right? It's not mandatory yet, but we see that the technology exists. You know, the RF, you know, to the ID chip, you know, that C-hip exists, you know, and we're seeing countries moving towards a CBDC, which is the central banking digital currency, right? And that's one of the last prophecies that on World War III that have to come to pass, and of course Jacob's trouble, before Yahushua makes his triumphant return. So which government will be in power at that time? The Edomites, man. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So the Israelites, you know, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, will be the ruling body under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in the government that is to follow, as it is written, you know. So it's very important to know who your enemies are. Of course, very important to know who you are. And it's also very important to know who your enemies are. And our chief enemy is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, right? We could get much more precepts on this topic. You know, if the Spirit allows, I'll do a part 2 on this. But I think I'll stop right there. I pray this lesson was edifying. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the elect.